Let's bring up our first guest tonight, shall we? This is a very special friend of the show. A throwback on this Throwback Thursday. He was the original host of Running Late with Scott Rogowsky from 1987 to 1998. He sends me a fax from time to time to let me know that he's planning to crash the show. I do appreciate the heads up. I'm not sure what's on his agenda tonight, but I owe this man everything, and my stage door is always open to him. So please welcome for the first time at Caroline's on Broadway, Mr. Dale Seever. Dale Seever, the original host of Running Late with Scott Rogowsky. Take your time, Dale. Take your time there.
He's a natural man. He's a natural man.
You've lost all goodwill you had.
Oh, my goodness.
Dale Seever, this is exciting. Dale Seever.
I'm just going to keep spinning till I figure out the mic cord. Oh, wow. Look at this. Hello, Scott.
Hello, Dale.
How are you?
Good to have you.
Good.
Take your seat here,
Yeah,
plush seat.
Smells a little bit like soup, so that must mean that Marty is here. Hello, Marty.
How are you, Dale?
Senor, looking good for 105. You know, they say, remember the Alamo, Marty remembers the pyramids. Now, I kid you, Marty, because I love you, and also because I fear the mummy's curse.
I think you're overshooting it a little bit. He's not quite there.
Very old.
Pyramids? Good to have you back on the show. It's been a few months there, Dale.
Has been.
How's everything? You enjoying spring? You enjoying this great weather?
I am, yes. And the higher the pollen count rises, the higher I get with the allergy medicine I have to take. It's very exciting to be anywhere.
This must be tough. I know how you enjoy being outside.
I do. I lived outside for about a year after my divorce. But I do love nature. You're right about that, Scott. I love it. I love being natural.
Yeah.
Hi, Rebecca. Oh, natural. I love to feel the sun's warmth on my naked, glistening dad bod.
Dad bod? I didn't know you had children.
Oh, I don't. I have had a lot of donuts, though. A lot of donuts, but I try to eat healthy, I do. I try to, despite the smell of booze on my breath. I do try to eat healthy foods, and I've started growing my own foods.
Have you?
Yeah. Yes, it's wonderful. I've become very involved in the urban gardening movement. It's very DIY, very DT,
Oh, don't say it.
down to...
Don't, please. We all...
Fertilize, Scott, of course, something Marty obviously knows about. Fertilization, or you wouldn't be here. But it's wonderful. I love it. I love the urban gardening movement. I get out there, and it's just wonderful. And you have to use fertilizer because here in New York City, a lot of the soil, some of you probably know this, is very contaminated. There's there's kind of a layer of exhaust. There's a layer of lead paint chips, and then the bones of the Dutch. So it's very difficult to grow things and to have things take hold.
I think that would help,
Stuyvesant's
corpse.
You'd think something from those people. But it's tough out there, and I don't have much of a yard to speak of. So I have to kind of find land to use, and so I'm very creative about this. If I see an abandoned plot somewhere or some neglected flower pot anywhere, I do what great white men have done throughout history and commandeer it and put something in it. And it's just marvelous to see what comes up through here. Yeah. It's a lot of night harvesting, you understand? Okay. So I have to, because these aren't necessarily legal kind of places, so it's while you're sleeping, and it's just me and the coyotes out there. Howl! I get it. we brought some pictures of some things.
Oh, yeah?
Of the garden, of the things that
okay.
I'm growing. Could we?
Okay,
we
sure.
show? This is a segment that we're calling Dale's Failure Gardens.
Who's we? Who's decided this?
That's right. We got some pictures here, and you know, everybody, the urban gardening movement is really growing, and there's a lot of tomatoes and cukes and zooks and beans and this and that, and it's just clogging the farmers market and the green markets all over. So I said, you know, that's fine. Let somebody already handle that. That's okay. And what I decided to go for was some specialty crops.
Okay.
All right.
I'm a little afraid where this is going to go.
And what I do is I found some things that after a little bit of processing through some chemicals and a quick minute or so in the microwave, I've developed a number of FDA unapproved herbal supplements that I can use as ointments and tinctures to put on the body to cure various ailments and things like that, and I sell them on my Etsy shop.
This all sounds very suspect.
You know, we
Dale.
could use a little bit of this on Marty. Just spread a little bit on your face.
Probably could use a lot of it. But
Well, if you say so. And we'll just watch the years just melt away. Just we probably need a shop vac or something to clean up the mess. But we ought to. You come over to the house and we'll set something up.
Let's avoid
let's
that.
look at the pictures.
Okay. What
Because,
do you got here?
Here's the first one. Now this is Yancey's long root. And I put this down in a little bit of land that I found during a very difficult spring break in Jamaica, Queens. Not a hot destination, and it turns out that was the only real silver lining of a pretty terrible timeshare scam that I was involved in. But the point is, I found the land and I put this stuff in here, and if you take the stems, you kind of grind them up, you know, just in your hand or whatever. You get a cheese grater, you can do it at home. And I've made a marvelous foot cream and also mouthwash, which is just delightful. It takes care of your cracked heels, and it smells a little bit of copper, and it tastes like stale Parliament cigarettes. The foot cream is what I'm talking about.
Wonderful. This is available for sale on Etsy.
That's
Okay.
right. Check out Etsy.
Good.
And then this next one, Tinnicum's Thunder. Tinnicum's Thunder, I put this out in a dog park in Staten Island. And, this is so great. I don't know, this is wonderful for warts. I don't know if you have warts, Scott, but
No,
you
I
take
don't.
this, and they just spread. They spread
Do you
and
mind,
spread and spread. If you touch someone or shake their hand
you
or
don't-
anything like that, just wildfire. Your body will be really riddled with these things. And the only way to get rid of them is some of this Tinnicum's Thunder. And it just takes about a year of thrice daily application and no contact with females. You'll be
then you're
right as rain.
Cured of warts. Great.
That's right.
You don't have warts right now.
What?
Okay.
No, it's all-
please don't touch me the rest of the show.
It's clearing up. So, this one. Now, this is a curious little plant that I bought during a lightning storm in Chinatown. And it's very unusual. It takes almost no sunlight, very little water, but lots of blood. Lots and lots of blood. So if you happen to see my florist, Mr. Muchnick, tell him I'd like to send some flowers over to my dentist. You know the really weird thing about this, though?
Yeah.
It grows best when de Blasio's out of town.
Is that so?
That's why it's so big. Because he's always away.
Ah, I see there.
And I have real strong feelings about that.
Yes. A subtle dig at our mayor.
Who cares?
Dale's politics bleed through sometimes,
Who
folks.
cares? Who cares? Now, and then finally, we have this one. Yes. The Pillow Lotus. Now, you're going to want to find a friend for this one. But what you do is you take the leaves, and it's got to be very warm, okay? Maybe 80 degrees or above, probably very humid, like it is up here between us. And you take these things.
too hot.
I don't know, you take 4 or 5, depending on what the situation is, or 6 or 7 or 8, and you take these leaves and you or your loved one wrap them around your member, your little Rogowsky, as I call it. And you get them in there, you wrap it up, and you just go to bed, and you take a good night's sleep. You drift off, and boy, I'm telling you, you will have the best dreams of your life. You will start to enter this place where you get invited to parties that start at a reasonable hour, and they have all food that you like, and you end up cornered by a gal at work who you've always thought about talking to and has some great things to say, and you just hit it off, and she only wants to hear about podcasting and how difficult it is to find pants, and she invites you back to your house to watch Game of Thrones, and you think, my gosh, and then she says, you want to see this dragon I have out in the garage? And it turns out it's not a dragon, because of course, but it's a 1994 Buick LeSabre that she's kind of tricked out to look like a dragon. And you start to really think about things, don't you? You think, well, maybe Burning Man isn't so bad. In your dream, you understand. It's a hallucinogenic for your nether parts, and it's absolutely fantastic, used for years by the indigenous peoples of the Amazon Basin and by a fella I met on the Long Island Railroad to Ronkonkoma.
Ronkonkoma, I think.
I look at it on the board, I say, I don't know. Give me Ragnarok. So that's Dale's Failure Garden.
Wow, and you're growing this where? It looks like...
Where am I growing it?
This looks like you're in the Jamba Juice.
Oh, yes, I put this into the wheatgrass supply at the Jamba Juice at Penn Station.
Oh, wonderful.
So if you're over there, you might get a little hint of it.
God. Well, that's it, Dale. Well, thank you for
Pretty
sharing
good.
your urban farming.
Well,
with
you
us
are
here.
welcome. You are welcome.
Glad we went through
I
all that
know-
trouble.
I know this is unorthodox, but because this is a special show,
Yeah.
I wanted to do something special for you and pay tribute
special
to
show?
the amazing work that you have done over the many years.
Oh.
You certainly have inspired generations of people, and the work that you've done to bring all voices to the table. I mean, look at the diversity of the lineup on this show tonight.
Yeah.
You have-
Ashkenazi Jews,
That's right.
Sephardic Jews.
It's
amazing.
Jewish people
Run
are
the
very
gamut.
welcome on
Yeah.
the show, and that's a tribute to you. So I can't give a lot because I don't have
What are
very
you
much.
talking about?
I share a off-brand memory foam futon with a young Filipino person. But the point is, I'd like to give you what I do have, which is the suit off of my back.
Why are you...
And I've worn it for so many years.
I don't need your suit, Dale.
Never dry cleaned it. And I'm quite a sweater, as you'll see in a moment. So I'd like to give that to you.
I mean, I really
because
don't-
you have. It's just so amazing
Probably not
to
the same
have this
size.
kind of longevity.
What are you talking about?
To have this kind of a career, it's amazing. It's just amazing.
Dale, please.
And I
what
want
you're
you
alluding to here.
I made this hours ago, and I might never get out of these.
This
This
is-
shirt. I bought this shirt with the suit together for
On Etsy.
$13.
I don't... Why? This is all very nice, but what do you...
There you go. I know it's your last show. So I would just thank you, man. Thank you. I would have popped out of a cake, but you've meant a lot to me. You've
This
meant
is
a
not
lot to
my last-
comedy.
This is not my last show, Dale.
Sorry?
This isn't my last show.
Not your last show.
No. But
Well, this shirt will come in handy.
this is going to be your last show, I think, though. But Dale Seever,
Well,
thank you so
say
much,
it ain't
Dale,
so.
for the wonderful gesture.
Thank you.
Dale Seever, ladies and gentlemen. Sweaty, sweaty Dale Seever.
Natural man.
Little Rogowsky. Oh, God.